Hello, it is Ian May, Director of Disability Policy and Programs in the Department for Education. I'm proud to introduce you to 4 presentations prepared by parents examining the concept of inclusion, often through the eyes and experiences of their child. They look at inclusion differently and consider the range of opportunities that have happened for their child, some of the challenges, and some of the ways that they see that we could enhance the educational outcomes for all children through inclusion. These were first presented at a parent forum in Term 1, 2018. The Parent Forum is a new department initiative where parents come together discussing issues related to disability and how collaboration and networking are important strategies of improving the well-being and learning for children with disability.
Thank you. So I hope I don't break the technology. Just as a snapshot, this is literally a sense of our perspective. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's what we've experienced, and like Liz has pointed out, and from Deborah's presentation and very valid question, we've all experienced different parts. My story is for my son who's 16. This debate, this push, this fight to be heard and to be listened started in kindergarten. The experience that we've had has not been ideal, but what I've taken from it is the things that have worked and pushing the system to do more of that, because it's not okay to not do it. And like Deborah pointed out, the point that motivates me in it, my child has a right to be educated the same as any other child, and if it's opinions and attitudes and strategies and policies that are stopping him, they need to change. It's not acceptable for that to be ongoing. And whilst I look back and think he's now in year 11 and our time has been lost, it's not because it's different now than what it was for me when he was in kindy. And my involvement in this, whilst he's in year 11, is for this not to be okay and to keep happening. So my story is, it's been hard, and I won't deny that. But when I was thinking how to capture this, I went through all sorts of things. My thing was about opportunities. My thing was about his rights. The thing was about his potential being stifled because the system's not supporting him to do better. And that wasn't okay. And then I had a light bulb moment and I just said to him, Tom, I want to sit you down. I need you to help me with something. I didn't give him any caveats. I didn't give him any prompting as to what I wanted him to say. And I sat down with the video and I videoed him with me asking him questions and him answering. I've gone through what was a 15-minute video and I've got out the snapshots of what he has come up with no prompting, of what I think was really important. I hope you can understand it. If you can't, I can go through and say what it was that he said. But yeah, hopefully it makes sense. So my question to him was, what does it look like at your school at the moment? How do you think that looks, and what does that mean for you?
I think at my school that there should be more integrated learning between unit and mainstream, because my school is so small. Yeah. We should be more of a community, not so split up into 2 different ways of learning.
So that question to him was, when you are included, what does it look like and how does it feel?
People can see you and see how good at some things you are and some things you aren't.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel if people can see what you are good at?
Great.
Yeah.
At Scouts, most people don't know I have a disability, and they include me in as much of, they can include me in stuff that that if they knew I would have a disability, they would have to change.
Do you know if any kids there have got disabilities?
I actually don't.
No?
And that's the good thing about the scouting. Often, if it's a pretty bad disability, they do ask. If it is a not as severe disability, kids don't usually ask.
Yeah. And do you think it matters?
No, it doesn't.
Very, very interesting point that he came out with. He is actively involved in Scouts, and we don't accept him not being as actively included as anyone else that's there. Now, completely unprompted, and you can see him, he's the same person that is at school or is at Scouts, and he doesn't think anyone at Scouts knows he has a disability. So we're open, we talk about what his support needs are, and we have accommodations and that type of thing, but that's from a 16-year-old. So in a broad sense, he's the same child that's at school and he attends Scouts, and he doesn't think anyone at Scouts knows he has a disability because he does exactly the same things as he's able as every other Scout that's there. So the question was, he's actually a youth helper. He's one of the leaders at Cubs, and since he's started there, there's actually a very large number of children that have joined that group with disabilities because the community can see that they as a leadership group embrace him and celebrate what he is able to contribute. And as a result, there have been other kids that have come and joined that group, and they don't stand out. There's no separation, there's no them and us. It's us as one group, and they can do that. So for me, that was really important that I could actually see this is possible for him. He's the same child at Scouts as what he is at school. So what's working at Scouts that isn't working at school? And we need to be harnessing what that looks like to make it better.
Do you find that are people, everyone's included? Would you say that Cubs and Scouts is an inclusive activity?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so how you feel at Cubs and Scouts, is that how you feel at school?
Not really.
Yeah, so what do you think is the difference there?
At Cubs and the Scouting movement, they don't actually care what differences you have.
Yeah.
And at school, because it's called disability unit, they think you're very unable to do things.
Yeah. Yeah, and is that good or bad?
That's really bad for the meaning of disabilities. If they go into workplaces and have people with a disability come in, they will think they're not very, at school they haven't heard much about it.
Yeah. And is that going to be a problem for the students that have got disabilities or the students who don't have disabilities?
More problem will happen with the students without disability because they haven't seen or heard anything about disability.
So they haven't had much experience with it?
No.
Yeah.
Very, very unique perspective that I'm focused on what opportunities he's not getting and his take from it. The other kids at school that don't have students with disabilities integrated in opportunities, they're missing out. They're going to end up being people in a workplace that don't actually know how to support people with disabilities and accept everybody for what they're able to do. So just it sort of blew me away with the perspective that he's not worried about so much what he's doing. He knows that he can do what he can do, but the others are missing out because they don't have that experience.
If you had your complete choice of where you went to school and they went on camps, because that sounds like something you enjoy doing, if they went on camps, where would you, what's your ideal picture of what school would look like for you?
I would, if there was a school nearby, had all the support in a mainstream class, I would probably go there, not go to a school with a disability unit.
So I don't know that there's much more we can say about that. With support in the right place, his disability shouldn't determine where he goes. He should have equal opportunities, open choices, and limit the unnecessary changes which he's had across multiple settings. So I think he's well qualified to have an opinion. He's been in both mainstream and disability units, disability classes. He's had 7 transitions to the point of arriving in Year 9 at high school, where most other children have had 2 to 3 in their career, their schooling time. He's a child with autism. He doesn't cope with change, yet he's had to do almost double the number of transitions of anyone else. So don't feel that you're not being listened to. We need to go forwards from this. We can make it better, because the experiences we've had when it's been successful have been absolutely worth fighting for. Thank you.
I thank the parents for these presentations. Personally, I found them very powerful, uplifting, and at times challenging. But know that they form part of the rich dialogue around inclusion, because inclusion needs to be seen from a variety of perspectives. Yes, school staff and principals, parents and families, but most importantly, through the child themselves. I think these presentations form part of the discussions that we all need to consider and have. And once again, hope they add a richness to your understanding of inclusion.